Hey, now we're gonna learn Candlestick. I have a good friend of mine. She said Candlestick is what got her hooked on Acroyoga. Candlestick is often the first inversion that people do. Inversion means you're going upside down. And for my friend, she was just like, wow, this is so cool to go upside down on someone else. And now she's an Acroyoga teacher. So maybe this is gonna get you hooked too. Before we get into it, I want to talk a little bit about hand placement. As a base, you're going to have balance someone's shoulders on your hands. And a lot of people automatically think they want to have the person like way out here and their wrist way back and like they're holding something up. However, the proper thing in Acroyoga is you want to think more like Spider-Man. You know how Spider-Man crawls up the walls and he has suction cups? So you want to rather think that your hands become like suction cups on the back of the person rather than being under. This is also going to be a lot better for your wrist because your wrist is going to be in a better angle. So Brian's going to sit down for us so you can learn the proper hand position. I'm going to place my hand on his back, and this is a pretty good position. Notice a lot of people automatically want to be here, so they're under. However, that's no. You want to be more on the back. Think like suction cups. I'm kind of close to his neck. I don't want to be out here and slipping out. I want to be kind of close to his neck. There's a soft muscle in here, so it kind of nicely molds to your hand. When you place your hands, you want to think, contour the body. What I see a lot of times people doing, like they'll do something like this, or they'll be something like this. You know, where your fingers are just stiff, you want to kind of go here and curve your fingers to the body like suction cups. I'm gonna have Portia give it a try. Stay down. Nice, so personally what I would change a little bit is I would move it a little bit more in, a little bit more, nice. And yeah, so this is pretty good. Cool. Thank you, Brian. And now we're going to do the setup for Candlestick with Portia. As a base, I'm going to lie on my back and I'm going to have my knees up. I have bad knees, so I can't bend them more. You can bring your knees in a little bit more, but you also don't want to bring them all the way to your butt. Because if that's your butt, you no longer have a triangle here. And this triangle is what makes things stable. I'm going to ask Portia to step across my belly. She's going to reach with her hands like this for my thighs. And you want to walk a little forward. Nice. And usually for my body, I like flyers to be in the middle of my thighs. Some teachers prefer them to have them all the way at the top. But in that case, for me, the flyer is too far away. So this is a little better. Sometimes based on geometry, if the flyer has a much longer arms than the base, keeping the hands here would mean the base is like this. And notice how my arm is no longer stacked, it's over. So I'm likely gonna crash. So one way to get my arms more vertical is to have the flyer's hand go more up to the knees. But this is based on individual dimensions. Also, like if you're still over your head, you can bring your knees a little lower and then also you feel like a little bit more better alignment. Nice. And you can walk closer. So one thing you want to really pay attention to, notice how we have a triangle here. My arms create a triangle with her arms and then the ground. Things are stable as long as we have the triangle. If Portia were to bend her elbow, the triangle would kind of fall apart. If I bend my elbows, it falls apart. So things are relatively safe and stable in this as long as the base and flyer keeps your arms straight. It's absolutely critical you keep your arms straight. Nice. And I know it's a lot of setup, but let's talk about another issue. If I let my arms go overhead, keep your arms straight. If I let my arm go overhead, her hand is going to lift off. And again, we break the triangle and we crash. So as a base, my job is not so much to push up, But my job is to really push towards her hands. I want to really use a lot of strength to push her down this way. And most people have pretty large latissimus dorsi muscles, so you have a lot of strength in pushing in that direction. So now we're set up. So now Brian can kind of come in. And as a spotter, you mainly want to focus on getting an arm across at the lower back, so that if the flyer were to fall over, the spotter can keep them from falling to the back. And I know you've been waiting a long time, Portia. Your big moment is coming. You can step on my knees.
Okay.
So most people can usually get here. And the next part takes people a little bit figuring out, but most people can figure it out within like 20, 30 seconds. So you can go for it. Nice. And Portia is going to show some leg range of motion. Like once you're up once, you can try to do movement, like you can do a side split. You can do a forward back split. Nice. And you can do a pike. Nice. Oops. And so this is what spotting and falling looks like. This was like an excellent example for, why we have a spotter here. So let's go back to it. This worked great for the video.
I hope so.
Nice. And let's do a tuck, where you bring your knees to your chest. Nice. And let's come into a wide straddle. As straddle is the most stable, can you bring your hips forward? Other way?
This way?
Yeah. I'm gonna move into my stack. This is another exercise. See, I kind of bring up my legs to maintain the triangle. And now my arms are stacked. I'm gonna go back down. Nice. Very cool. And you can come down for a moment. Nice. And I want to give you one more drill that you can do, because once you know how to go up, once you know how to do all these like range of motions, the next thing you want to work up is you're going to bring your legs up. You're going to go into a straddle pike. And you're going to try to bring your toes as low as possible without coming down. And when you're at the end, you're going to go back up.
Okay.
Go for it. Nice. And try to go as nice. This might be everything that there is today. Nice. And let's try one more. Oops. Nice. And we come down. Nice. Awesome. So eventually, you want to do those toe taps until you can lightly touch the ground and go back up. And it'll take you a few months. And this is another example where all of these different things you're learning, it's not like you did it once and you're done, but you want to keep going back to them and train it. And so part of our program where you teach things to other people, it gives you a lot of exercise to go deeper into each pose. Yes, that's it.